What's good, YouTube? It's SKY Jordan. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about how to find your sound in 2022 as an artist. Alright, a lot of people hit me up, they're like, yo, how can I develop my sound? How can I create my own sound? I don't want to sound like nobody else. I don't want to sound like Yeet. People be like, I don't want to sound like Lil Baby, this and that. They want to do their own thing. So if you're trying to do your own thing, make sure you watch to the end of the video so you miss none of the sauce I'm gonna give away. Alright, so make sure you watch to the end. Finding your sound as an artist shouldn't be hard, alright, because at the end of the day, it depends on you and what you want to do. Alright, your inspirations are going to be completely different from your favorite artist inspirations or your best friend's inspirations and stuff like that. We all get inspired by different things, so your inspiration plays a huge part in your sound because you take bits and pieces from the people that inspire you and you create that into your own thing, and it becomes like you. So the first thing that we're going to talk about finding your sound in 2022 is stop worrying about vocal presets, templates, or the perfect mix. It's a lot of other things that goes into your sound other than the perfect mix, the perfect vocal preset, all that shit. Right, there's a couple of things that you need to worry about before you start worrying about the fucking mix or the vocal preset. And one of those things that you need to worry about is finding out the type beats that you actually like. All right, what BPM you like, what keys do you perform better in, all right, what type drums you like in the beat, what sound selections do you like, beats that are more complex, do you like simple beats, do you like super repetitive type beats so you can do your artistic thing with melodic shit, especially like with melodic people. Like, you shouldn't be picking beats that has a lot of shit going on in it because that's contrasting with your melody and all this other shit. Like, it's too much shit going on. So find what beats you like. If you're a boom bap type of artist and you really fuck with the boom bap beats, rap on those beats. If you're performing well on those beats, use those beats. Don't force yourself to use some emo drill type shit if that's not your bag, that's not your lane. Like, your sound, this shit depends on you. All right, you gotta develop something that's consistent so when people hear something, I'm like, yo, that's you, that's that artist, you know what I'm saying? So like, whenever I record a song, if I was being a rapper, like I recorded a song, people would know that's a SKY Jordan type beat. Like, SKY Jordan would rap on that type beat. So you got to put yourself in that mindset. Like, whenever you rap on some shit, when people hear it, they're gonna be like, yo, that's such and such type beat. Like, he would kill that shit, vice versa type, you know what I'm saying? So like, keep that in mind. Figure out what beats you like because your beats contributes to your sound. Like, your mix might do that, but your beat heavily depends on your sound. Like, the beats that you use, that's your sound too. Another thing you need to worry about other than the mix is your song structure. Song structure plays a part in your sound overall because when people hear your music, they'll expect a certain structure, right? You don't want to be too repetitive with the song structure. You want to kind of experiment with different ones and see what works. Sometimes you might come on with a verse into a pre-chorus, into a hook, back into a bridge or some other shit. You can experiment, have fun with the shit. And I'm just saying, because a lot of people, a lot of artists that I talk to, they're worried about what everybody else is doing. You need to focus on you because you're the person recording the music. You're the person that has to present yourself to the world for people to fuck with you. Another artist that you're on the come up with, they're not necessarily gonna make you famous unless y'all in the same collective where y'all dissing each other, going back and forth and shit like that. Another thing that might help you get the perfect mix or find the perfect preset is if you actually try to find a microphone that works best for your voice. All right, it's a little cheat code, a little secret that you need to understand when it comes to choosing microphones. Each microphone has a frequency response pattern in it, and when it comes to the frequency response pattern, you need to understand each microphone affects voices differently. Your voice registers differently on a microphone, all right? Some people's voices are brighter than others. Some people's voices lack the brightness or the air in their voice. Like, everybody's voice is different, so different microphones will be needed for different situations. Just because you see Juice WRLD use this mic, or X grew up using this mic, or came up using this mic, or this person came up using this microphone, listen, your voice is probably nothing like theirs. Right? You need to find the mic that works for you. The Rode might work for you and 100 other people, but it might not work for the next 200 people. So the 103, the 102, the Ashton Spirit, the WA8000, all of these different microphones have different frequency responses when it comes to the capsule in the microphone. So keep that in mind. So like, if you have a natural bright fucking voice, you do not need to go and get a microphone that is crazy boosted in the high end range. or the, you know what I'm saying, like you don't want a mic like that, because your vocals are gonna be harsh. Like, you don't want that. You're gonna be recording that shit in harsh, and you don't want that. All right, so it's a science to this shit. So before you buy a microphone, go and look at the frequency responses, record your voice, and look at how your voice registers on the EQ. Have an analyzer. You can see that. Like, that is a super cheat code when it comes to developing your sound, because your sound is what you put inside the microphone. And another way that you can help find your sound is pick a lane or find like a niche that you can kind of carve out to be your own, because it pays to be different in today's time. Like, the shit that Yeet was able to do was because he was different. The shit that he's making, the beat selections, niggas wasn't fucking with beats like that, and he kind of carved out his own lane, carved out his own sound. What are you gonna do? All right, so it's like, think about what you want to do. Like, if you like listening to country, you like listening to drill, and you like listening to trap, figure out how to incorporate the country, the drill, and the trap together. All right, you can take the trap drums, you can take the drill, the little weird extra snare that comes in on the drill shit, and you can put it over like country guitars or some shit, right? You can fuse genres and create something unique to yourself. All right, don't just sit there and think like rage is popping off. You can be like, oh, I gotta do rage music. You don't have to do rage music. You don't have to do plug music if you don't want to. All right, you might like some things about the rage. You can bring that shit over into what you're trying to do. All right, you might like some of this shit over the plug, the flows that the plug niggas be using. Cool, take some of that shit, bring that shit over to what you're doing. You don't necessarily have to copy people. You don't have to bite people. You can be inspired and take that shit and turn it into something else. Like, the shit works, trust me. And another thing you need to do, besides worrying about a preset or a mix, is actually figure out what plugins you like, which plugins you know how to use, and figure out the correct order you need to place these plugins. You need to understand what each plugin is doing in your vocal chain. Just because a nigga on YouTube or a person is like, yo, buy this, you're gonna sound like this, that doesn't mean that's the end all be all. You need to understand why, right? Watch videos on compression, read articles. You can find free PDFs and all that kind of other shit about what a compressor does, what an EQ does. You can learn what it does. You can reverse engineer a preset or a vocal chain and figure out how you can make it work for you. And another thing that's keeping a lot of artists back from finding their sound and just being more confident in their sound as an artist is you have to be yourself. I know. All right, you are yourself, cool. But listen, are you really yourself? Are you really being your genuine self? Or are you trying to be something that you know you're not? You know people around you know you're not. Like, are you saying things in songs that don't even sound believable? You need to be yourself, right? You probably got your own unique lingo. You probably got your own unique mindset, or just ideas on how songs are supposed to be structured, but you're scared to try. Like, you can't be scared to try. You need to be yourself, right? A lot of artists out here that you're competing with, what they're doing, they're biting other artists, and they're not getting anywhere biting other artists because they're forcing themselves to do that shit. You do not need to force yourself to do anything, all right? Be yourself, all right? You're already unique, all right? Nobody talks like you. Nobody thinks the way you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, not 100%, right? Somebody might sound similar. Somebody might think some things similar, but nobody is 100% you. You're unique. And the second thing you need to do when it comes to being yourself, loving yourself, embracing yourself, and letting the artist, the true you, the artist in your head come out, what you need to do is love your voice. A lot of artists do not like their voices at all. Listen, to this day, I do not like my fucking voice. You know what I'm saying? I get comments all the time. People be like, yo, why the fuck do you talk like this? Why do you talk like that? Why are you forcing yourself to talk like this? Nigga, this is how I talk. This is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm being myself. I had to accept the fact, like, my voice is my voice. The only thing I could do is improve the quality of my voice by taking care of it, drinking more water, getting more rest, not really fucking like singing too much or just doing shit that could affect my voice. So what you need to do, you need to fall in love with your voice, because it's your voice. You know what I'm saying? And your voice contributes heavily to the sound that you're creating. So what you can do with your voice might be unique compared to the other person. Like, certain people can hit certain notes. Some people's voices come through cleaner on microphones. Some people's voices are more pleasing, soothing to the ear. Right? Your voice, you might hate your voice, but millions of people might fucking love it. People love podcasts and shit by people voices and shit. Like, think about it. Voices are unique, all right? A lot of talented artists have amazing, distinct, unique voices, and that helps add on to their sound, helps add on to their talent, makes their songs hit a different way. Certain people's voices match with certain beats and sounds a different way. Like, really sit back and think about it. How can you improve your voice? Right, and this will help you when it comes to beat selection, because you'll know, like, okay, my voice actually sounds fire with this shit. Your voice, microphone, beat selection, all of that shit is way more important than your mix starting off. And the last thing that I'm gonna mention about being yourself is, if you're being yourself, genuinely carrying yourself the way that you want to do, talking, using the slang that you want to use, you're gonna separate yourselves from others. I think I said something about how Yeet separated himself from other people. Like, Yeet not even plugged to me. When people was like, yo, Yeet might be a plug artist, I'm like, he's like a rage nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my introduction to like rage music was through Yeet. Like, and that's just what it is. But it's like, separate yourself, dress different, use different lingo, but make sure it's true to you and what you want to do. All these other niggas on YouTube, they do their thumbnails a different way. I do my thumbnails my way. I fuck with my eyes. I always wear hoodies and a headband in my videos. I'm trying to separate myself from them. I don't want people to be like, oh, he's kind of like this person. That's why my content be different. You know what I'm saying? You want to do different shit. You want to separate yourself from others, because people notice when you're different. All right. And in chapter 3, all I'm gonna say to you is experiment. Nobody else is gonna find your sound for you. You have to do it. Right? From the beats you like, from the microphone you use, you know what I'm saying, from the way you record, the way you deliver the shit that you record in or whatever like that. You have to experiment with different flows, experiment with different methods of recording. You can punch in, right? You can punch in, you can write, you can vocal comp, you know what I'm saying, you can playlist, do whatever the fuck you need to do, but create something unique that's you. All right, I don't want you trying to be the next Uzi. I don't want you trying to be the next Juice WRLD. All right, you can be similar to these people, but be yourself. All right, you know what I'm saying, because everybody is kind of got a lot of things in common, but we also differ, and that's what makes the world unique. Right, this music shit is dope because you can have people like Lecrae, Doja Cat, Moneybagg Yo, Finesse 2 Times, Lil Nas X, Yeet, Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Wayne, Drake, Beyonce, and a lot of other people. Like, a lot of people do music and a lot of people have different fans, and people be fans of the same artist and they have differences between them all. Like, experiment. And when it comes to experimenting, that will help you keep up with the times. All right, help you evolve, help you keep a long-lasting career whenever you do get on. All right, because I don't want you sitting there being the same, being stagnant. I want you to elevate. I want you to show progress. I want you to grow. So keep that in mind. Experiment. Even if you putting out some fire shit, always figure out what you can tweak to kind of like switch, kind of be a little bit more innovative, like how you can be ahead of the curve, right? Because you can't set a new trend if you're not trying something that people aren't doing. So experiment more. Your voice, your flows, your tone, delivery, beat selection, BPMs, all that shit, just song structures. Experiment. Like, that's all I'm saying. If you want to find your sound, you have to experiment. Nobody else is gonna find it for you. I had to make this video because I felt like a lot of artists need to understand your sound is way more than a vocal preset, a template, or getting a mix and a master done. Like, that's just the end part of your sound. That's just polishing it up, getting it out there, getting it ready to go. But your sound depends on you, what you do, what you put into the microphone, the beat selection, and all this shit. And I love making videos like this because I feel like I say things from time to time that people really need to hear, that helps put things into perspective for people, because like, I want you to win. I actually give a fuck about the artist, right? And that's why I do the shit that I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really give a fuck. I want people to get better, right? Like, my main goal with this YouTube shit in the end is to become like a A&R, help develop talent, work with artists and shit like that on some maybe management type shit and all this other shit. Like, that's what I want to do. My whole goal is not selling you presets and shit. I want to help inspire artists, motivate artists. You know, that's me. That's what I want. So when it comes down to it, let me know some of the things that you're struggling with as an artist, so I can sit back and come up with videos like this so I can help you move forward. Alright, but listen, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy SKY Jordan. I'm out of cool.